Welcome to another drama async day. If you go into your Google Classroom, you could go ahead and check out the classwork that you're working on during your electives time today. Something to keep in mind is it's really important to rehearse your sophomore promise. But in order to rehearse your sophomore promise, you need to actually write your sophomore promise. The path to writing your sophomore promise lies in actually looking at the rubric and then understanding the promise. So if you see underneath week 15 async work, you can click on different YouTube videos and you can see me going through and talking about 4 different model examples. And I go through and I color code it. My advice to you is to do the same thing. Look at this rubric key up here and go through and color code these 4 texts, these 4 different drama examples of promises, to go ahead and start to get ideas. Then when you're all set with that, what I would do is I would go through and I would type in and I would answer these questions. What are the traits of a strong sophomore promise monologue? Which traits do you think are the most important and why? And in your opinion, what is the strongest promise script and why? And within that, this document, you do have the text that I go over in the video. And you can go ahead and see some of the characteristics that are in the rubric. If you need to listen to me talking about the rubric, which I really advise, so you know how to get an A, you could go through and you can see me annotating it. I would focus on poems written content right now. So if you could see on the top of the rubric, honestly speaking from the heart about a failure, right, explains how and why she will keep this promise. Now, if you don't know what your sophomore promise is going to be, right, that would probably be because we need to go back and we need to finish the fire right for the week. So the fire right for the week is designed to get you to think about your promise. We went ahead and did these circle maps in class. There is a video for the circle maps. If you haven't done them yet, please do them, post them to Seesaw. These circle maps were a result of the ABC chart that we did at the beginning of class, where we went ahead and we brainstormed things that have impacted us in our lives. I'm just trying to scrub ahead to see if I could get a shot of that ABC chart. So make sure that you did the ABC chart. If you weren't in class and you weren't paying attention, you could go ahead, you could click the video, and you could brainstorm problems and issues and things that have happened in your life that have affected you. And then you pick the top 3. Now, on the outside of the circle map, if I go ahead, if I click here, you could go ahead. The frame of reference for the outside of this circle map is what are you noticing about yourself? Once you see a pattern about yourself, you can see how you want to change. Then you could skip ahead. You have this whole deck available to you with different examples of brainstorms. You could skip ahead to doing your thinking map where you list your promise. There is a video to assist you with that. You could see my baby on the video. Sorry for that weird beginning. But I would go ahead and I would do this entire map where you make lists of promise. And on the left side of the map, you have this whole video. You're going to list what actions do you need to take in order to your promise. On the right side, you're going to list what are the results of your promise. Watch the video. It's here in the corner. Make sure you go back and forth as you're doing the map. Like if I click here. If you really want to see the video, I guess it's hard to make it big. But you could see the examples. If you really want to see the video big, you go ahead and you go to this slide right here on slide 22. Again, the one with my baby. You go through and then do this whole video and you could see how it goes back and forth. Do your own promise in your book, post that. Okay, then you'll get a sense you could start to draft your promise. So actually typing that promise out would be a very good thing to do so you can memorize. Also, make sure you clean up your Facing History digital notebook. right? So everyone has their own set of slides. You just got to click there, click on your period, make sure you're in the right period, and go and find your name and be like, have I been doing my work? If you see your name and you see that you haven't been doing your work, that's not good, right? So like make sure there's a photo of your identity box in there. Make sure there's a photo of your mask response. And again, remember your sophomore promise comes from your mask response poem that we did last week. But everything builds on top of each other. So we're promising to look within, we're promising to love ourselves, we're promising to take off our masks, right? But you need to like see the examples to know what you're doing. Thanks so much for watching. If you made it to this end of this video, please put a smiley face on Seesaw and go ahead and post that, showing that you made it to the end of the video. Just draw a little smiley face and then make sure you post your work, your analysis of the different promise poems, and make sure you clean up your sophomore promise notebook. My advice is I would write a draft of your sophomore promise today. You got the rubric. The rubric is actually hyperlinked in this document. So if you click the document, click here to access the promise rubric. You have the whole rubric right there. And you could go ahead and you can start by working on it and writing it. So that's kind of my advice to you guys. Good luck, everyone. Have a good async day. I will be available for office hours at 11:30 today if you need to check in.